Hi all my friends. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for a while and just, I don't know, just kept putting it off. But after my live chat, I gave out my email and I have been getting some amazing emails from other people struggling with invisible disabilities, and they have just been an inspiration to me, saying I am to them, but really they are to me. So I've decided to go ahead and just release this video telling my story. But the one story I did not get into in depth is the emotional part that I went through. I mentioned in the live chat, which gave them the courage to email me, because I mentioned in the live chat that I had to rise above depression, because when people struggle with disabilities, it can hit you until you get to a point where you have to start focusing more on not what you can't do, but what you can do. Okay, so I did go through a period of that I did not share, as you hear in the upcoming clip, when I end up having the neuropathy. Just before they diagnosed the neuropathy, my quality of life was really going down. And so I ended up struggling with some emotional stuff there. And also when I sold my house, I'm not going to say it was just like a bed of roses. It is a transition, and there was some emotional stuff going on when I lost the career that I have always wanted to have my whole life, just having that ripped away from me because of the job abuse that I went through. So there's many things that my disabilities have taken from me, okay? And my ex-husband, and I share a little bit about our journey. So that was really difficult for me, but I don't get into so much the emotional part of it. I went through more of the physical challenges that I went through. So maybe in the future I'll talk more about the emotional part that I had to rise up above. And the other thing I didn't go over was allergies. I ended up having incredible allergies after I had lived in Oregon for like 5 years. I started to tank with energy, and they did diagnose me with having severe allergies here in Oregon, and I had to have shots for 9 years. So I didn't get into that so much. And also I had developed a condition called adrenal fatigue. And when life just punches and punches, and I'll just let you guys just Google it, research it, and maybe sometime in the future I'll talk about those other situations. But that happened right before I lost all 3 of my seniors, and taking care of them and being their caretaker for so long. And then my ex-husband moving to California. So from about like 2006 to 2008, it was really a hard time for me. And losing my parents. I lost them in 2005, and my dad in 2005, my mom in 2003. So all these punches and punches and punches in life, I ended up getting that condition. So just research that. It's really serious. Yeah. Other than that, everything else was more the physical stuff that I'm going to end up talking in this video. But I want this video to not just be about the message of what I had to overcome, but also about a message for those that don't struggle with things, to get out there, live your life, do the things you've always wanted to do. If you like to camp, hike. I wish I would have canoed more when I was younger, kayak, sorry. Just outdoor stuff. I wish I would have just embraced it more at a younger age, because I never dreamed that my life would change I feel still pretty early by the time I was 47. So, you know, I just hope that this could be a message for you too, that, you know, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today, you know. And if you have disabilities, I hope the message from this video, from the part that I do share, is your life doesn't have to be over. Just do what you can. Just look at what you can do, and focus on those things, and conquer your fears, because for everybody, because your dreams do await by conquering your fears. All right, so here's my story, and then I hope other people's stories will also be an inspiration. I don't want it all to be about me, but we inspire each other, and that's also my message. Okay, so here we go. Let's go hear my story a little bit here. All right, I do want to share that I've been getting some incredible emails from people with disabilities and how I have inspired them. But I just want to say that you all have been inspiring me. So I have been thinking a little bit more about the journey that I would like to go with my channel. I'm still going to share, majority is the traveling, the places that, you know, I get to see. Okay, and share it with you all, because I am definitely the most happy when I am out with nature and traveling around. So I'll continue to show you the beauty that is out there, but sprinkled as well as maybe sharing some of your stories. So I'm going to give you my email again at irenesvanventures@gmail.com. Okay, and I'll put it in the description box. I don't always give it out, but every so often I'll mention this again, because it's not really about just my story, it's about your story as well. And I would like to share that if you would like me to. So make sure you put in your email that, yes, I would love for you to share my story. I just want you all to know that we are not alone in this, and I think we can inspire each other, and I think that's what I would like to do with my channel. So again, it'll be sprinkled out there, because I don't want to put all my focus on that part of it, because like I said, it's easier for me to focus more on nature than any physical struggles that I could be going through with my body. But I just want to have all of us encourage each other as well. And maybe through our story, we'll encourage all those people that don't have issues to wake up and get out there, and don't think you have until tomorrow, okay, for you to get out there and enjoy life, okay? All right, so let's get to my story now. And it probably will be in a couple of parts, but we'll see how far we get in this next clip. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to try to share my story without giving any vital information out, but I do have to talk about certain things to share my story, and that's just the way it's going to have to be. But I think it's important to share this information. So back when I was about 29, I was dating my ex-husband, and so we were just at the happiest time of our life. We met each other, you know, we were actually, yeah, just starting to date. So we were kind of crossed over from the friendship to now we're boyfriend and girlfriend. So one of the happiest times of my life, and we had a lot of friends and doing things with our friends. So one particular time that I remember, we went bowling with our friends, and we bowled 2 games, and then we were getting ready to bowl, or they were going to bowl the 3rd game. But I was never trying to ever put any attention on myself, so I didn't want to do that. And so I said, well, you know, I'm going to skip out of the 3rd game. You guys go ahead, right? So I just sat out of that game because I didn't want to let him know or people know that I was having this incredible leg weakness feeling, and I didn't know where it was coming from. I thought maybe I had blood sugar issues. I was suspicious of that because my dad having type 2 diabetes, I was thinking, well, maybe I had some blood sugar issues going on, but that's where my mind went. So afterwards, we were up at the lobby area, and we were all just talking with the friends and chatting for a little bit, and the leg weakness was getting more intense. And I'm looking around thinking, you know, I got to find a place to sit down. You know, I don't think I can stand up much longer. And where could I sit? And I'm looking and I'm looking and looking for a chair or something, and I didn't see anything near where we were standing, and I didn't want to put any attention to myself. I really didn't. So I tried to keep standing as long as I could, and finally he said, okay, well, let's get going, you know, and I'm like, hey, you know. So we walked to the truck, and then all of a sudden we barely get to where he's going to open up the door to let me in. He was really a gentleman. He always opened up the door for me. He was a sweetheart and just complete gentleman. I mean, cards, flowers, you name it. He was just the best out there with that department, you know, of a guy being a gentleman. So he goes to open up the door for me, and my legs just give out on me, and he catches me, and he said, what's wrong? What's wrong? I said, I don't know. I can't stand up anymore. You know, I don't know what's wrong. So he helps me to get inside the truck, and he helped me to get up into my apartment and assist me, as you know, to into my room and everything like that. So I just like, what the heck is going on? And then I started having trouble driving. I had a pretty cool Isuzu Amigo back then. It was one of my favorite cars. I loved that thing, and it was convertible. So again, best time of my life. Had the car of my dreams, you know. But I started having trouble with the pedal, you know, because it was stick shift. And working the pedals, and because it's a lot of work, working the pedals, like what the heck's going on? And I never could get any answers. You're talking to doctors, what's going on? Nobody knows. Nobody even knows what direction to look, you know? So this kind of went on, and we get married, and I'm still kind of sick. In fact, on our wedding and honeymoon, okay? So, but you know, we get through that, and then even up to about a year later, it was now my 1-year anniversary. So I'm going to not repeat this story because I actually did a video about, because I get discovered with type 2 diabetes, okay? So I've already told this story, and this isn't the story I want to concentrate on. So I will put a link to when I did a video talking about pre-diabetes and how it is just growing in our country. And I shared the story about my anniversary and what had happened to me that led to the diagnosis of having the type 2 diabetes, but I cleaned it all up with diet. So I became diet controlled. So I'll put that link, so be looking for that up above to that video. So not to repeat that story, we're going to just concentrate on the other part of the spinal stuff and the leg weakness. So even after I cleaned up my diet, found out the type 2 diabetes, I continued to have this leg weakness, and it went on for years and years, and I was trying to work, juggle how much being on my feet, how much not on my feet, and even on my job. Many times at my job required me to be on my feet at certain times of the month than the other part of the month. So the times I had to be on my feet more, it was so awful. I would try to go in the bathroom, I'd sit in the stall. I continued to do that because I did that also before they diagnosed me with the diabetes, but then it was like continuing on even after the diagnosis. So then you're thinking, okay, well, what's this about? And I go inside the bathroom at times, just trying to reboot with my leg strength, and never got any answers. So now we moved to Oregon, okay, together. And I continued to juggle being on my feet, not on my feet, you know, that situation, but I didn't work when I first moved here, so that was really nice, and got to do some things I always wanted to do. But I kind of was thinking, because my last job required me to put so many hours, that whatever career I was going through, a career change, I was not going to be able to be on my feet a lot, so I had to find that kind of career. So I ended up getting a job with working with dogs. So I dog groomed, and I did that for a while, and then crossed over into being a dog trainer, okay? But I'm still struggling with this leg weakness. So this continued on for, it actually took them 20 years to diagnose me, okay? So keep that in mind as I move forward with my story. So my job actually required me to, you know, I was really only working about part-time, 25, 28 hours a week or something like that. And later I became full-time, but lucky I always had a boss that gave me full-time benefits with only a part-time working position, because he knew that I never felt good. I lacked physical strength that I never could get a diagnosis for. So eventually I see one doctor who thought, well, maybe it's circulation issues, but she never checked it any farther than that. Until finally I get, you know, an angel doctor, I call later on, that started to help me to get more of answers. And I didn't get these answers until later on, because my marriage had ended and a lot of my health issues ended up becoming a challenge in our marriage, because I couldn't keep up with the job, the house cleaning, everything, and the energy. It just really put an obstacle, you know, between us and our careers, basically. So our marriage had ended, and by that time I get diagnosed that I also have allergies from living in Oregon. And I had to do shots, you know, for like 9 years. I thought, I was like, oh my gosh. So anyways, I'm kind of working through that issue while I'm learning how to dog train, you know. So I still got some positive things going on in my life, new career. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. But as you're going to see, it has taken doctors a lot of time, 20 years to diagnose my leg weakness, a year and a half of the diabetes, and some other issues that you're going to see that it took them so much time to diagnose. I have had friends that it took them 10 years to diagnose their autoimmune issues. I met 2 people like that, a friend actually, and then a person on the road. So just more and more stories, or the doctors missed something and then the person died, unfortunately. So I want to get this out too, because maybe it just could save your life or a loved one's life. But once again, you are your best advocate for your body. And if there is something wrong, and you know there is something wrong, and someone does not recognize it, I mean a doctor, then get a second, get a third, whatever opinion you need to get. until you get your answers. So that is something that I also want to leave you with, okay? Because it is sometimes pretty scary out there in the medical community, okay? So listen to your body. Do not take it lightly, okay? Yeah, there's a lot of scary stuff that goes on out in the medical community, okay? So again, if you have anything you want to share, if you don't want to do it in email, but want to put it in the comment, definitely do that. And all right, so stay tuned for the next part. It probably might be 3 parts because I'm trying to keep it to a reasonable amount of time, all right? Okay, so I'll see you in the next video as I finish my story, my journey. All right. Love you all and see you in the next video.